People, if you're a Republican, I want to make something very clear to you so that you can understand why your family members and friends have abandoned you after you voted for Trump, thinking that it was your own personal choice, that you did it for your own reasons. I am a 60-year-old woman. I have sons. I have granddaughters. When you voted, what you voted for was to tell us you don't care about us. You don't give a crap whatsoever. You do not care. First of all, that I lived through what it was like before Roe v. Wade was enacted. I know what that world was. Secondly, you do not care that the women in your family have the same rights as everybody else. You do not care that when your daughter or daughter-in-law or granddaughter get pregnant, that they will not be allowed the health care they need. Not just for an emergency pregnancy. Not just for that. They're not allowed the health care they need for everyday needs. Because the medical system has commonly showed that they dismiss women's health care needs more often than they dismiss a man's. So you do not care about that. You also do not care that the Republicans have stated plainly that they don't think women should vote. So you don't care if you ever get to vote again after this time. You do not care if your grandmother, whose husband died and she now owns the house her husband left her, loses that house because women lose the right to own property. These are things that Republicans have clearly said they want to enact. But for your own greed, you said you do not care about that. So that tells me that if I'm in public and something dangerous happens, that you will not care to protect me. You will only care to run or take the side of whatever attacker there is to protect your own self. Leaving me or my grandchildren or my children to suffer. You've also told us you don't care how well your children are educated. You don't care about anybody's history but your own. As long as it's white man's history, it's okay with you. You don't care about anybody else's history. It doesn't matter to you. You don't care that it matters to the people who are part of those other races. I want to tell you something. I look white, but I'm not white. I'm at the very least 1/4 Native American. And that's only on my mother's side. I know there is Native American on my father's side, but I couldn't do the genetic test on that side to prove it. I'm also African American. But because my most recent ancestors were from Europe and white, I look white. But I'm not white. And in fact, with my genetic makeup, I am a part of every race in this world. whether it be African, Middle Eastern, Asian, Russian, Italian, whatever race there is out there. I am part of it. Norwegian, Poland, all of it. I'm part of it. I'm part of it all. Puerto Rican, Colombian, Peruvian, Mexican, and finally, American. I am part of every race out there. And what you're saying is you don't care if I learn my ancestors' history on this land. Even though 1/4 at the very least of my ancestors were on this land long before any white man came here. I have no right to learn that history. Because you don't care. And then you wonder why we cut you off when you vote for Trump. Because you have already clearly stated you don't care about us. Don't give us the excuse that your vote doesn't play on how much you care about us or how much you don't. Yes, it does. Because you've been told these things time and time and time and time again. But yet you still voted for Trump. And in doing so, what you said was you do not care about your LGBTQ child's life and safety. You don't care about the female in your family's life or safety or their rights. You don't care how well your children are educated. And on top of that, you don't even really care about the prices of the things you buy. Because you've been told time and time again, tariffs raise prices. But you don't care. And if you don't care about us, why should we take the time and the energy to be around people who don't care? It doesn't make a happy holiday. It'd be the same as you going into a lion's den and deciding to prepare your Thanksgiving dinner there. Or going into a crowd of a bunch of dangerous soldiers who you don't know if they're going to kill you or not, and deciding to make them a Thanksgiving dinner and expecting them to treat you as an equal. Don't be ridiculous.